Hello, it's been a while. Ellie here, and I am back with a whole brand new video. We will be discussing the dress that I am currently wearing, my strawberry dress. So if you are interested in learning about what pattern I use, how it was, all the deets, please stay tuned. So first things first, I am so happy to be back to join you all. I know it's been a while, a couple of weeks, because your girl was burnt out from May. May is my birth month, it's Mother's Day, it was Frontels, it was a whole lot going on, and I did a lot of pressure sewing, deadline sewing. So yeah, I had to kind of get my Xoxo back. And this was the first dress that I made to get that Xoxo back. It was such an easy make. So let's get into the details. Okay, so if we rewind back to, let's say 6 months ago, you will see a fabric haul where I showed you guys this fabric. This particular fabric is from Hobby Lobby. It is a knit fabric, a rib knit fabric actually, and I was able to share it in one of my fabric hauls. I thought for sure it would take me forever to cut this fabric, longer than a few months, but when I was in, my rut, my sewing rut, and I was trying to get my Xoxo back, I looked over at the strawberry fabric because it's a certain place in my room where I keep all of the fabrics that I want to make for the season. And the reason that I keep them there is to just inspire me. It's kind of like how, do you ever notice you go grocery shopping and sometimes if your food is like hidden in compartments or it's behind something, you tend to forget about it until it spoils and you're like, oh, this has gone to waste. Or the closet, for example, you may have clothes in your closet that you haven't worn in years because they're just hidden and they're not accessible and you don't see them. So to avoid doing that with my fabric, every season, spring, summer, fall, winter, I pull out my seasonal fabrics that I want to use. And it's usually about, depending on how many I can fit in my little basket that I have in my room, it's about maybe 10 fabrics. Yeah, about 10 fabrics. So I had the strawberry fabric in the front, and after going through the sewing debacle, I won't even say debacle because it turned out good, but just going through a lot of pressure sewing at the beginning of May, I was just like, I need something fun, easy, no pressure. I'm not making it for a particular event. I'm just making it. So I was like, you know what? Let me just cut this fabric and get it done. And I knew I wanted to make either a romper with it or a dress, and I just thought long and hard. I went back and forth. At first, initially, I was going to use a particular Mimi G pattern that came out not too long ago. I made sure to show it up here, but then I thought, is that practical for like wearing it every 5 minutes? Because that's what I'm gonna do with this dress. I want it more so an everyday dress, not like a I'm trying to look sexy dress. That's what that dress was giving. Then I was like, you know what? I can make a romper. That'll be perfect. Everyday dress. I could wear it when I'm with my son. I could wear it when I'm like meeting a friend for brunch. I could just wear it pretty much anywhere. But I ended up choosing New Look 6616, and I'll probably just post it, the picture, so you can see it a little bit better. But New Look 6616, initially I was going to make View B the romper, right? Perfect pants. I'm a pants girl. I like dresses. I do dresses, but I'm a pants girl at heart too. I mean, I just love pants. So it was just giving like perfect pants for summer. But I happened to look at View A, and I thought to myself, I didn't know that was a dress. So sometimes initially when you get patterns, I know for me, I look directly here at the main picture, and I try to look at the other views, especially in the back, but I guess I just assumed that it was all pants or shorts. So when I saw the dress view, I was like, you know what? Let's do the dress. Let's do the dress. So from there, I was able to cut this fabric. Now, the thing about this fabric feels so good. So good. So good. And this is coming from someone who kind of abandoned knits, don't sew with knits as much, but I specifically wanted to work with this fabric because it just feels so good to me. It's just great quality, especially coming from Hobby Lobby. So cutting up the pattern pieces were just fine. The only modifications I did to this dress, like upon cutting it, was I added 2 inches to the bodice because I'm long. As I've said before, I'm long, and I just didn't want to have to deal with, I've had situations where I've made a dress and realized that the bodice is like aligned, like it's like midway through the bust. So I'll just say that, like the seam is like right across the nipple line. Like that's not cute. So we're not gonna do that. So I was just like, I'd rather add and take away than not add at all. Added the 2 inches. Also keep in mind that this pattern is for wovens. This is something I did not realize. So on the pattern, suggested fabrics are batiks, chambray, cotton types, gingham, linen type shirtings. I didn't realize that. When I look at this, it's giving knit. I did not see this as a woven. I don't know what it is about it, but it just looks more like a knit to me than a woven. So I just assumed that it was for wovens until I looked at the sizing when I was going to put my size in. I was like, oh, okay, this is for woven. So because of that reason, I was initially going to cut a 20, but I cut an 18 because of the stretch of the knit. I knew a 20 would be too big. And so I cut 18, and even though this pattern is like really easy, really simple, good for a palette cleanser if you're looking for that, the only issue was the fact that the bodice was too big, of course, and too long. Like I over accommodated, I guess, for the length of the bodice by adding those 2 inches. So in return, I had to like cut off like 3.5 inches to make it make sense because the bodice was too long. And then I fixed it now, but initially it was like now it's fitted, but before I fixed it, it was like this. You know, I had to kind of like just tuck it under my arm, but now it's like just right. So yeah, next time around, I don't know. I hate going too small, but I probably would cut a 16 and just see. Just see. That would probably be the time to actually use a muslin like people use, which I don't want to use, but just cut a 16 to see how the bodice would do with a knit. Now keep in mind, if I use a woven, I'm gonna have to just grade back up to the 20, which I know how to do. I trust myself with that, but yeah, grading down from the 18, particularly in the bodice, would be needed if I use a knit again. So would I make this pattern again? Of course, I already had plans to make this pattern. Would I use a woven or a knit? More than likely a knit. I like the knit look. And lately I've been looking for patterns that I can use my knits with, because like I said, ever since I've started using patterns, I tend to gravitate to the patterns that are for wovens, and because of that, my knits have just been sitting. Like, I have a ton of knits that's just kind of just sitting, waiting for their day. So yeah, I will probably make the romper next time, and I'll use a knit and just see how it goes with the sizing. I'll probably make sure I cut down, just because the fitting, I mean, it looks like it's kind of like, I won't say it's oversized on her, but it's definitely not fitted at all. Just it seems like it has a lot of ease, so we'll see. I'll probably play around with that and base, you know, to see how it fits before I actually sew it down permanently. Yeah, as far as like any modifications, like I said, all the stuff that I changed, I ended up taking away. Like, I added inches to the bodice, had to take away that and more. Yeah, there was nothing else that I added that was different. And yeah, the only modification I guess you can consider it a modification is changing from a woven to a knit. All right, so luckily I was able to make this dress just in time to go to the strawberry farm. Literally the next day after I made the dress, I'm like, I love it when that happens. See, I didn't make it particularly for that, but it was just like we were gonna go strawberry picking anyway, and I was just like, oh, my dress, oh yes. Perfect, you know, so it worked out perfectly. I was able to wear it there and get a lot of compliments. It was fun to wear. And then I also went to the jazz festival later on that day, and it was cool to wear it there too. It's just a really cutesy dress, a dress that gets a lot of attention, because who does not like fruit on their clothing? Like, who wouldn't like that? So I actually bought 5 yards of this fabric. Initially, I ended up using, I ended up using 2 yards and 3/8 of the fabric for this dress. Probably just a tad bit more than that, just because I added those 2 inches to the bodice, but it's not anything significant. And yeah, so that leaves me with like enough to make another garment for the rest of the strawberry fabric that I have, and I will probably be thinking long and hard about what that will be. I would love to make a 2-piece, but it really depends on if I have enough fabric. Probably not if I make pants. Maybe if I make some type of shorts and top set, or maybe a romper, like a play suit, you know, the shorts version. So I have plans for that. Stay tuned. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please tell me down below if you could choose any any fruit to have on a fabric. What would that fruit be? It's a lot out there. We got strawberries. I've seen lemons. I've seen oranges. Any fruit. What would that fruit be and why? And until next time. How could I forget to show you guys my earrings? So when I wore this dress the first time, oh my gosh, I had to pull out my strawberry earrings. I had showed these earrings in my birthday haul. These are Betsy Johnson earrings from TJ Maxx, when I got a whole lot of her earrings, and they were just perfect for the look. Like, oh my gosh. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So I wore these strawberry earrings. This necklace I don't think I had on initially. Yeah, but yeah, that's it.